Hi y'all, and welcome to this video tutorial about how to make sunrise graphics using the free graphics program Gravit Designer. I'm Amelia, I'm from the Sunrise Movement New Orleans Hub, and right now I'm going to start by taking you through Sunrise's style guide. Sunrise's style guide is right on their website. I got to where I am right now in this web page that you can see by just Googling Sunrise Movement Style Guide. Sunrise does have a centralized style that includes all of our colors, our logos, our font, and our imagery. You've seen them on the Sunrise National Instagram Hub. You've seen them on signs and t-shirts when you've gone to protests. It's really important whenever you're making communications and visuals within Sunrise to use their style guide, because that communicates unity and power and lets people know we're part of this big whole movement. There are plenty of assets online to help you make images in this style, starting with the style guide. Mine doesn't love to load because I don't get a ton of internet back here in the back of the house, so I pulled it up for y'all on a PDF right here. So here are our colors, logos, and when to use them. Our typeface is Source Sans Pro, bold in all caps for titles, regular for body. Then you have the digital assets library. You can find it on this PDF, which I got in the Sunrise Google Drive, or when you Google search the style guide, it's right here in this link up here. And when you click on that, that's going to take you to a Google Drive page that has a bunch of sort of stock photos that Sunrisers have put in there, including cutouts and like gradients and fancy things that you may need that you can't make on your own. But hopefully I'm going to teach you how to make a lot of things on your own, so that won't be too much of a problem. Another amazing thing that Sunrise has to help you create your graphics is the graphic maker. This is the Movement Graphic Maker. I just Googled Sunrise Movement Graphic Maker and it's right here. You can type right in this box. You can add anything you want, including background images, anything that's already uploaded, anything that's on this graphics maker, including all these sort of stock images, the logo, you can change the style here. The one thing you cannot do that's pretty important is upload your own images and your own graphics. This would be important to do if, say for instance, like Sunrise New Orleans, you had your own hub logo and you had your own hub photos that you wanted to use personally in your graphics to give a sense of place. And for that, we would need to make our own graphics using our own graphics program. And the graphics program that I love, that I chose to teach you guys, is called Gravit Designer. It's a free vector-based online design program. There's also a desktop download that you can get, but you don't have to. I love that it's free because I'm sure all of your money is already tied up in donating to campaigns and the NAACP and everything like that. And I love that it has a very usable interface. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory because I'm sure all of your time is tied up in going to actions and cleaning up beaches and whatever it is you young eco warriors are doing. And so I'm just gonna create an example social media post for you guys today. You can see already they have all these presets for you. We're gonna go to social media and we're gonna make an Instagram post today as an example. Here we go, it opens up right in our little interface. Move my face up so we can see everything. We have our pages right here, so if you were creating an Instagram post with multiple slides, you would just add pages right here with this add page button. Here are your layers, so you can keep all your images separate. So you can work on one layer at a time without messing up other parts of what you've already created. We have all these dialog boxes, properties basically over here, and then your toolbar up here. The very first thing that I want to do is go import, place image. I'm gonna take this screenshot that I took from the PDF of Sunrise's colors and put it in there. That's so I can use this eyedropper tool to bring over and hover over any color that I have on the canvas, click on it, and it'll select that color for you. So that way I don't have to always be typing in the RGB color code and everything like that. I think that if you do have Gravit Designer Pro, you can save these as swatches and have them in your properties over here. But like I said, I don't know, you're probably paying off student loans. You don't need to get Gravit Designer Pro when you have this lovely free program that they made for you. Okay, so I'm gonna hold down the shift key to resize this and just put it in a corner so I can keep it. I'm gonna make an announcement for my art build for our Wide Awake action. And so this is an exciting action. It's not a serious issue. I want it to be celebratory, just like, ooh, it says celebratory gradient right there. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a gradient in Gravit Designer. I'm gonna click out of my image. I'm gonna click on my color. It says color fill. I'm gonna open that drop-down menu and select linear gradient. That opens you up with a yellow to a black. To change this black, I'm gonna click on this little point and select it. And that selected my black color. Then I'm gonna click on my eyedropper tool and bring it right over. You'll see on the small text in the celebratory gradient, it lets you know that it's the sunrise red to sunrise yellow is the gradient color. So I'm gonna select that red, and that's gonna make our gradient. To make it like our sunrise gradient, we're going to want to bring this red up to the top, and for that, I have these little rotation buttons down here, and I'm just gonna rotate gradient left one time, rotate gradient left the second time, so it gives us our vertical gradient like that. Now you could have downloaded this from the digital assets library and uploaded it, but I think it's nice to know how to make your own. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and open up a new layer. I think I wanna add some sun rays that I did download from the digital assets library. So I'm gonna go to import, place image. I have this transparent image of sunrise sun rays. I'm gonna bring it in here. It's subtle, but I love it. So right now I'm on my zoom tool. I wanna make sure that I'm selected on the pointer tool so that I can click these nodes and drag them around. Just going to stretch this to fit. Also, anytime you need something centered, you'll notice this little green line come up and down. That's your smart guide when you hit perfect center. So your smart guides are a great tool. I love using them. All right, I'm gonna move my screenshot above my sunrise in the layers panel so that I don't get orange on my colors. Then I'm going to move this small, and I'm going to start adding in my text. So I've got my text box tool right here. You just draw a text box like in many other programs that you would use. Then I'm gonna go in and type source, and Source Sans Pro is Sunrise's font, and it's already right there in the program for you. It couldn't be easier. I'm gonna select Source Sans Pro, bold, and I'm gonna caps lock because that is how we do all of our title text in Sunrise. This is my title text. I'm gonna select this and bring it up to a lovely 200. Select my text box again, resize it to fit that. Center my text. And I think this spacing is just so crazy wide. So luckily I have an option right here with line spacing. I'm gonna decrease that until I think it looks right. Yeah, that's much better. Now for sunrise, you know, your instinct is probably to put text in black sometimes. It stands out, it's classic, Coco Chanel. But anytime you're using a dark color, you're just gonna wanna use this sunrise gray. It's easier on the eyes, it's more sophisticated. But this is a celebratory image. So, and I love this purple. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that purple there. Move that up to the top. You can find the center with your smart guides once again. And then I'm gonna do the rest of my text. So for the second text box, I'm gonna consider this body text. I'm gonna type it in regular Source Sans Pro. And in lowercase letters. Now I'm just going to add our last. The next thing I'm going to do is start on the personalization part of this graphic that I told you about. So I'm gonna wanna add Sunrise New Orleans personal hub logo that was designed by our hub member, Kita. Thank you, Kita. It's a beautiful logo. So I'm going to go to import, place image, and bring in our logo. I have it right here in the sunrise gray already. I'm going to shift and hold as I resize this so I don't distort it. Set it up here in the corner. And then Sunrise likes to have a border around their Instagram posts, makes it look polished. So I'm gonna come over here to my shape tool, grab a rectangle, start at the corner up here, draw my rectangle. I can use my smart guides to help me put it in the exact middle once I've drawn it. Then I'm gonna take out the fill just by lowering the transparency down. I'm going to open my border dialog box, select that nice sunrise gray, and make the border a little. Then I'm gonna cut a little place for our logo by using this knife tool. The knife tool, if you hover over any of these tools, by the way, it's gonna give you this little box that's gonna tell you what's up about it. And it gives you this exciting little tutorial down there. This is a really well-designed program, I will say. Got my knife tool, and I'm gonna slice from here to here. Oops, sorry. See what happened there? I didn't have my logo locked, so it sliced the logo as well. So I'm gonna come over here to my logo. I'm gonna select lock, this little lock icon. That's gonna lock the layer so I can't do anything to it on accident, can't mess it up. You can use that on any of your layers if you're finding you're accidentally moving them around or they're on top of one thing that you just wanna work on that one thing. Grabbing my knife tool, gonna slice from here to here. Then grabbing my pointer tool, gonna select on just this new part that we made and delete it. That's awesome. So then I can go back, unlock my logo, move it to that little space that we made for it. So here's what we have so far. It's looking really nice. I think we can go ahead and delete this colors panel that I brought in. I don't think we're gonna need that anymore because the last element that I want to add to this graphic is one of Sunrise's trademark cutouts with a white background. So we're gonna cut out of a photo some people, leaving the background out. But I'm just gonna go right now, import, place image, and I have this image, which is from Sunrise Movement Kern's wide awake movement. Obviously, I'd prefer to use our own hub images, but we haven't done the action yet, so we don't have the images yet. Plus, I think this is a great photo. I'm gonna bring this down here. I'm gonna give us some space at the top by resizing our text. I'm gonna settle this comfortably in the middle using my smart guide. Maybe even bring it up a little bit. Because we're just gonna cut out everything that's around these people in the foreground, all this background. The way we're gonna do that is with a clipping mask. Basically, we're going to draw a shape and use it as sort of a mask to cover up parts of the image. The way we're gonna do that is by using our pen tool. Our pen tool right around up here, it works like this. I'm just gonna come in to our photo and start making this vector shape by laying nodes around the edges of this image. And I'm gonna eventually I'm gonna put a border around this image. So, and that's gonna cover up just the first little part of it. So I'm gonna leave some space when I'm coming all the way around, and that's gonna make it just easier for you to outline as well. And you can spend all the time that you want to when you're creating these graphics, getting a really nice, smooth outline of the things that you want to cut out. I'm going to do it a little bit quick and dirty for y'all today because we don't have that much time. We have to save the world. All right, I'm just going to skip to the end real quick when I have this all done. So I'm almost done. You'll notice if you click on these nodes and hold down, these handles come out, and that's going to let you form curves. If you need to go around selecting different points to delete and move, the pen tool is not going to work for that. All it's going to do is create those curves. You need to come up here to the pointer tool and then go into the sub-select tool. And that's going to allow you to select individual points to edit and move around. If you come into the pen tool, click this guy again, whoops, you're going to get those curves. Okay, so I'm going to select back on my last point that I made here. I'm going to close this shape up, and that's going to make our cutout shape. So we have our path right here. This is our shape that we just created. We have our image right here. That's our photo. I'm going to seize our image, bring it up to the path till it flashes pink, and drop it right in. Boom, that makes the cutout. All right, so the next thing we want to do is make a white border on this image. I'm going to select our path, and it gives us an option to make a border on this path. So I'm just going to expand this little menu option, make our border. We already have a border on there. It's a little black border, and I'm going to make it thicker, much thicker, and I'm going to make it white. That looks lovely. I think what we need to do is expand this. So I'm selecting the path again because the image is inside the path is going to allow me to drag both out at once. If I just selected the image, it would not work. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these sun rays out again. They've kind of disappeared behind all of our elements. So I'm going to go to my sun rays element right here, and I'm going to fiddle with the blending mode a little bit to see if I can get it to look different. We have all these different options. I'm going to choose hard mix. I know that's a powerful one. And that looks awesome. All right, that's exactly what I wanted. This is the graphic that I dreamed of. All my dreams are coming true. So I'm just going to go ahead and file export to any of these formats. And like I said before, if you do use scalable vector graphics, that's going to make you a vector file so that you can pass it around the hub, resize it for whatever you need, and it's not going to pixelate, it's not going to get fuzzy. Or a high quality PNG is just going to work just fine in most cases. So I'm going to export as a PNG, post that on our Instagram, and start saving the world. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I'm sorry about the audio quality. I don't have a setup, just filming on Zoom. And yes, I hope that you have fun saving the planet and creating beautiful graphics with this free software. Thanks for watching.